All right, so this is what a fucking photo this is. Look at this fucking photo. Look at that. Jesus Christ. Anyway, so apparently Biden backs new war powers vote in Congress, White House says. I have not been following a lot of this the foreign shit, foreign policy, because one, I get really nervous talking about foreign policy because I don't know that much and I would rather not say something stupid. So I kind of, I'm that's a little bit one of my blind spots. I'm working on it. I got books, that I'm reading and I'm trying to catch up, but I don't want to say something stupid. So, and two, that's basically it. There is no two. So just, whoops. Anyway, so Biden backs new war powers vote in Congress. Now that being said, obviously Biden, killing 20 people, bad news, folks. That's no good. I read a report I read a little bit about it. This morning, actually, about how Biden wants to, limit his strikes in Syria further, or what, some bullshit. But anyway, let's read this, because it might be interesting. President Joe Ass motherfucking Biden intends to work with Congress to repeal the war authorizations that have underpinned U.S. military operations across the globe for the past 2 decades and negotiate a new one that reins in the open-ended nature of Americans' foreign wars, the White House said Friday. This sounds pretty fucking good, right? This sounds pretty fucking good to me, right? This sounds good to me, when I hear needing more authority and approval when killing innocent people, to me, that sounds good, right? Obviously, I don't want to kill innocent people altogether, right? But the more authority you need, the more approval processes that stand in your way, the less likely it will be that those innocent people are going to be killed. Blah, blah, blah. In a statement to Political, Press Secretary Jen the Bitch Liar Psaki said that the president wants to ensure that the authorizations for the use of military force currently on the books are replaced with a narrow and specific framework that will ensure we can protect Americans from terrorist states while ending the forever wars. What terrorist threats? While ending the forever wars. Again, how about this? You don't get in any capacity to talk about ending terrorist threats when you won't lock up the entire Republican Party. Again, declare the Republican Party a terrorist organization. That's all you need to do. What they did in January was they tried to overthrow the results of an election because their guy lost. And they killed people in their effort to do so. Lock them all up. All the people that showed up, all the people in Congress that were supporting, aiding, and abetting them, all the people that voted to object to the election results, lock them up. You cannot possibly, we're very concerned that a terrorist 7,000 miles away from America is planning something. Okay. I'm so concerned. How about the motherfuckers in Congress that are planning on destroying the fucking election? How about that? Anything? No? All right. The olive branch to Capitol Hill marks the first time as president that Biden has publicly endorsed jettisoning resolutions passed by Congress a generation ago that have been used to justify military operations in places few envisioned at the time. The AUMFs include one passed after the September 11th terrorist attacks and another passed in the fall of 2002 ahead of the U.S.-led invasion of Iraq in 2003. Bad shit, folks. No fucking good. It comes just 2 days after a bipartisan group of senators led by Tim Kaine. Everybody, Tim Kaine. Folks, you know what that means?
Watch Hillary examine the terrain. Watch a campaign with the man Tim Kaine. Tim Kaine in the membrane.
Right?
Tim Kaine in
Tim Kaine, everybody. My man, Tim Kaine, who is currently in the membrane as he is being read by me on this article. And Todd Young introduced a bill to repeal the 2002 AUMF and one passed in 91 ahead of the first Iraq war. Senators proposed the measure amid bipartisan anger over Biden's decision to launch retaliatory airstrikes against Iran-backed militia groups in Syria last week without first seeking congressional approval. The operation frustrated many of Biden's allies on the Hill and renewed long-standing concerns among Democrats and Republicans alike that Congress has abdicated its constitutional role in declaring war and authorizing military operations. Tim Kaine, while also being in the membrane, has been a leader on questions of war powers throughout his time in the Senate, Psaki said in her statement, and has helped build a strong bipartisan coalition that understands the importance of Congress's constitutional prerogatives. The spokesperson for Kaine, who, by the way, is not in the membrane, because I don't know their name, said the senator is already in bipartisan discussion with his colleagues and the administration. Senator Kaine, while exactly at this current moment in time being in the membrane, believes that President Biden, who has a deep understanding of both congressional and executive responsibilities, is in a unique position to help America restore balance in how we make decisions about war and peace, the spokesperson said. Imagine being a spokesperson, you don't even get your name read. Like, Jesus Christ, talk about getting snubbed, my lord. You do all this work for getting, like, Tim Kaine inside the membrane, and then after that you get nothing? An ideologically diverse group of senators have signed on to the Kaine-Young effort, a reflection of the fact that reining in presidential war powers has long been a bipartisan priority. Again, manipulating the idea that Republicans just want to attack Biden at any point, right, and just revoke his war powers at any point. Now, again, these same Republicans will support expanding the war effort if a Republican president gets back in. But because the Democrats in there, they want to, oh, look at me, we're being tough on Biden. So I say, abuse that. Their effort comes amid escalating tensions between the U.S. and Iran. The U.S. believes an Iran-backed group was responsible for rocket attacks Wednesday that targeted an Iraqi base that's housing American troops. Well, guess what? If you don't fucking shoot and kill them, they'll be less likely to shoot and kill you, okay? Again, remember when Biden was like, we're going to get back to common sense foreign policy, and then started shit-talking Iran. You got to get rid of your nukes. What? The U.S. got out of the deal. Just because you're in the president's seat now, Biden, doesn't mean that the U.S. isn't a shit-fuck country. Yeah, sorry that for the last 4 years we've been killing your top generals and fucking you over financially, economically, and with this pandemic, and we've been trying to kill your citizens. Sorry about that, but you gotta listen to me now, Jack. That's not how things work, you dumb fuck. So, still in the days following Biden's Syria strikes, lawmakers have questioned the White House's rationale and legal justification for the attacks. Biden said he ordered the strikes in self-defense after Iran-backed militia groups targeted U.S. forces in the region in recent rocket attacks. That explanation hasn't satisfied top Democrats who have used the strikes to revive their years-long push to scale back presidential war powers. Kaine, in particular, who, by the way, is also in the membrane, has warned of this potential for a tit-for-tat military conflict between the U.S. and Iran that could explode into a full-blown war. And Democrats have more broadly criticized the Biden administration for the lack of engagement with Congress in the first days, or rather in the days since the strikes. But unlike in previous administrations, the Pentagon did not cite any of the previous war authorizations as the legal justifications for the Syria strikes, signaling its plans to pursue a different approach. Instead, Pentagon Press Secretary John Kirby pointed to Article 2 of the Constitution, right? Wait, which Article 2? Right, hold on.
Then I have an Article 2 where I have the right to do whatever I want as president, but I don't even talk about that.
Article 2, that's my favorite article, right after Corinthians 2, which grants the commander-in-chief not only the authority, but the obligation to protect American forces, as well as Article 51 of the United Nations chapter, which grants members the right to self-defense. Yet reaching agreement on a new authorization for the use of military force could prove exceedingly difficult. For instance, there remain widely divergent views on the scope or duration of a new congressional war resolution that would cover ongoing combat operations in numerous places like Afghanistan, Syria, and Iraq, including counterterrorism operations in dozens of other countries. Counterterrorism! Woo! Again, you're going to try to say, oh yeah, there's a group. There's like a couple people playing ping pong over in Iraq, and they're a threat to Americans. All right. Instead of, I don't know, the Republican Party who just tried to overthrow the election results, and by the way, who led us into a pandemic that killed 500,000 people. They're fine. They're not terrorists. No. It's the people playing ping pong over in Syria. Those are the terrorists. What the fuck? Former President Barack Obama also proposed replacing the current war authorizations, but failed to reach bipartisan consensus on the exact outlines. Again, I just want to end this segment with reiterating that.
Watch Hillary examine the terrain. Watch a campaign with the man Tim Kaine. Tim Kaine in the membrane. Tim Kaine in the brain.
Going
Watch
in.
Hillary examine.
I fucked that up a little bit. Anyway, that's the segment. There you go. Check out Bernie's speech on Twitter. Bernie has a speech. Holy shit, folks. Hold up.